Stay tuned for a visit to a brand new art space. Hi, and welcome to the show. I'm Nancy Guppy, coming to you this week from AMcE Creative Arts on Capitol Hill. Owned and operated by McLean Emmenegger, AMcE launched in June 2021 with Somerset, a big, beautiful show of collage and painting works by Anne Austin Pierce. The current show, Home and Away, features a group of emerging and established regional and national artists with works ranging from collage, assemblage, and embroidery on found photos. It's a dynamite must-see exhibit that runs now through January 8th, 2022. We've got an action-packed episode for you, including an events calendar from Crosscut Arts and Culture editor Brangien Davis, Joe Rudko's Artistic Groove, and a toe-tapping tune from the Betsy Olson Band. We'll begin with the beautiful, mind-expanding world of visual artist Lisa Liedgren Alexanderrson.
My name is Lisa Liedgren Alexanderrson. I am a visual artist working with painting, photography, and weaving. If anybody would have told me maybe 5-6 years ago that I would be weaving, I would just look at them and don't understand that. Weaving sort of came to me as I started to explore more natural material, and I took a class to learn how to spin yarn, and that later got me to try weaving. I remember during the class that I really fell in love with the loom as a tool to work with. It was a very memorable experience. What was very striking to me in terms of working with the loom was the physicality, the aspect of physicality, and as well my hands and my head, and the physical response to material, the tension of the material, and all the possibilities. I was really fell in love. I was born in the south of Sweden in a town called Lund, and I moved to Stockholm with my parents when I was about 4 years old, and that's where I went to school and high school and design school. And when I was 24, I moved to Paris, France, and I went to the Art Academy. Typically, there's an idea that arrives. It just gets right in front of me. And if I seem to have a reaction to it, if I'm intrigued, it's as if somebody would speak to you, say something, and sometimes you listen more carefully than other times. And I developed this relationship to the idea, something that triggers my curiosity. So I think about it a while, and I usually don't work on a piece until I've seen it sort of ready. I say in my head, but it's more in my mind. It's because it's not driven by thinking. It's more feeling. It's okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to begin. And that's when the problem solving comes. What material would be the best thing to use? What are the colors? Recently, I began to explore new avenues in my work. I do a lot of walks, and over the past few years, I see a lot of things on the street. It would give me an idea for a composition, being curious to see how would this behave in the loom.
That's great. This is interesting. Okay. All good.
And after I did that connection, I of course notice a lot more things on the street.
I'm looking for any textile, anything that I can use. I don't really have a set idea what I'm looking for, because the excitement with this is sort of what I find gives me ideas of how I want to use it. I think we might have something right here. I'm gonna stop. Gonna go out and see. All right, let's see what we got here. We have what looks like a baby blanket. It's good. Sweatshirt with a koala bear. Got a bag. Somebody's been painting on top of it. That's good. I think a lot about the material, the intention, like how it was created, like clothing, and that it's been produced somewhere. And before it was produced, somebody designed it, somebody came up with the idea, we need to do this, and paid, for labor. And so there's a lot of human interaction that is involved with the material before someone can even use it. And there's the aspect of it's being produced perhaps in the other part of the world and then transported here. So yeah, there's a lot of history to something that's just lay on the street. All right, that's gorgeous. Okay, perfect. I'm organizing these in colors, and then some of the items are white with a lot of patterns and not so much colors. So then there's a pile for just patterns. Like if I end up finding a lot of gold, then this one would go in the gold.
In the Swedish culture, when I grew up, the educational system taught us that Sweden was a neutral country. But during the war, the country helped transport German soldiers to Norway by train. And so it made me think about this image that I had been presented while I was in school. During the Second World War, this image was created and it was placed in public spaces. En svensk tiger. In Swedish, the word svensk can mean both the adjective Swedish and the noun Swede, while tiger can mean either the noun for the animal or the present tense of the verb tiga, to keep silent. And so it gives the poster the double meaning, a Swedish tiger or a Swede keeps silent. This image was created so the government would take hold of the narrative. This project explores the notion of having a voice and one's ability to express it. Is it possible to stay neutral as an individual and as a country? And if so, what are the implications? And so what I'm doing is I will explore this in the medium of weaving and using these found textile. It brings in a personal aspect of my history, but in present day. The uncertainty about being an artist is not a small thing for me, but the certainty of waking up and feeling purpose and meaning in what I do, and to share that is quality. I value that. I feel fortunate being an artist because it gives me an outlet to getting to know myself and the world, to understand the world around me, the people around me, the complexity of what's happening in our world. When you work on a piece that you go to bed at night and you can't wait to get up and go and meet that piece, to me that's happiness.
Follow Lisa on Instagram and learn more about her multitude of projects at LisaLiedgrenAlexanderrson.com. Our musical guest this week is the Betsy Olson Band, performing their single Train Song, written by, you guessed it, Betsy Olson. Keep up with the Betsy Olson Band on Facebook.
I guess it's just like an interesting question to ask is like, what would a photograph be if it was a painting? My show is called Untitled Colors. I had this idea of using color as this unifying principle. Like as I'm like looking through thousands of different pictures, there's like lots of different connections that can be made from one image to another. And I wanted to use color to bring together, to show how connected all of these sort of disparate experiences are that are captured in snapshot photographs and personal images. I just use a simple X-Acto knife, paper, glue, and a ruler, and time. and photographs. Yeah. I'm organizing them by color and tone, but not perfectly. I mean, these pictures were like cut out. They're, these little pieces are cut out of pictures in an imperfect way as well. And then slowly, piece by piece, placing them onto the paper, building up one color at a time. I want the process to be like breathing, like it's fluid. And so I think I'm always kind of moving one fragment here, moving another thing here. How does that look next to that? I put a fragment on the collage. Then I'm like, okay, well, what's the next one? What's the next one? It's just sort of keeping like a rhythm to it. Like I like this. It's like an idea within art about like every move that you make is the correct move, and just sort of embracing everything that you do as you do it, so that you just can keep kind of moving on, moving forward, and responding to the last thing that you did. What you see is the result of a long process of just saying yes and yes and yes and then yes.
Untitled Colors, Joe's show at Von Lintel Gallery in Los Angeles, runs now through December 18th. More information is at vonlintel.com.
Hi, I'm Brangien Davis, Arts and Culture Editor at Crosscut, with a few non-traditional holiday suggestions, most of which are designed to give you a break from holiday madness. My first suggestion is to immerse yourself in the beautiful simplicity of cut paper. Seattle has a wealth of exquisite cut paper shows on view right now, all of which go well beyond cutting snowflakes. At the Nordic Heritage Museum, Paper Dialogues, The Dragon and Our Stories. All of these incredibly intricate paper works reveal distinct cultural traditions and a common theme of dragons. Also on view is work by Seattle's own queen of cut paper, Barbara Earl Thomas, who has two wonderful shows on display right now. At the Henry Art Gallery is a collaboration with artist Derek Adams called Packaged Black. I love this show for its wash of color and striking cut paper portraits, but also for a space she calls the Transformation Room, which is wrapped in curtains of cut paper and soft peachy light. It has that magical feeling of snow falling softly all around. She has a similar room of cut paper curtains at Seattle Art Museum right now in her show, The Geography of Innocence. Another show that just opened at SAM is a big retrospective of pioneering Northwest photographer Imogen Cunningham. This hugely influential artist was born in Portland in 1883 and moved with her family to Seattle in 1889. She ended up going to the University of Washington, where she took a scandalous nude self-portrait, and eventually opened her own portrait studio on First Hill. She really pushed the boundaries of what was still a very new art form. This show includes stunning portraits and intriguing street scenes, but for the holidays, I recommend the healing powers of her hyper close-ups of plants and flowers. If you're itching to get back to live theater, consider a new show at Arts West called We've Battled Monsters Before. This is the latest musical by Seattle playwright, composer, actor Justin Huertas, who's best known for his Gregory Award-winning play, Lizard Boy. We've Battled Monsters Before is loosely based on a 16th century Filipino epic poem. This contemporary tale centers on the trials of the youngest sibling in a monster-fighting warrior family. Huertas always puts humor and heart into his musicals, so this should be good family fun. Okay, now this last one is definitely off the beaten path, but stay with me. The Pacific Bonsai Museum is located in a forested spot at the old Weyerhaeuser headquarters in Federal Way. It's an all-outdoor museum with spectacular bonsai specimens, but through the holidays, they're also showcasing a selection of viewing stones. This is an aesthetic tradition long practiced in China, Japan, and Korea, where you go out into nature and seek out large stones with interesting shapes or textures and bring them back to the city to meditate on them. For this show, members of the Northwest Viewing Stone Club have assembled some 30 stones. They look like mountain ranges or riverbeds or planets. There's one that resembles a brain and another one that looks like an Irish Terrier. They're really cool. And the point is to get out of the hustle and bustle and look at something ancient and natural and beautiful and just see what your imagination brings to light. And that's an activity we could all use during the holidays.
To get more Brangien Davis art picks, sign up for the Crosscut Arts and Culture newsletter. I'm going to add one item to Brangien's list. Town Hall Seattle's much beloved literary series Short Stories Live returns with acclaimed director and producer Jane Kaplan curating the new season. The first installment, themed Coming Together After a World Interrupted, includes stories by Charles Johnson, Jennifer Haupt, Jess Walter, and Shirley Jackson, read by Lowell Dale, Marianne Owen, Eva Abram, and Kurt Beatty. This in-person and virtual event happens Sunday, November 21st at 4 p.m. Ticket information is at townhallseattle.org. And that's a wrap. Big thanks to McLean for letting us in the AMcE door. For hours, location, and details on the gallery's amazing niche market, go to AMcECreativeArts.com. Have a terrific week, and we'll see you soon. Okay, look at all of this amazing stuff in the niche market. Okay, surrounded by pods. I see you. It's beautiful, and it's hand painted. Now, I have a weirdo thing about owls. I don't know why, but look at these, just all these unique little owls right there. Cute little faces. Oh my, see this? It's like a candle holder. Gorgeous, one of a kind, beautiful. Man, there's so much great stuff. Thank goodness I'm not a thief. Although, I did steal some eye shadow when I was like in 6th grade or something like that. Ooh, pretty, gold. And cigarettes from Albertsons. Oh, and one time, oh look at this, this is so cute. One time I stole a shirt from some store in a mall, Northgate Mall. But that was a long time ago. I'm no longer do those kind of things. Or do I? Oh, this is really cool. This is a fallen fruit. Love is my superpower. That is a great, that's gonna be my new signature line. Love is my superpower. Let's see what else.